Welcome to Reading Tips Tuesday, and today I'm going to talk about something we kind of all know, but we need to be reminded from time to time, or at least I do. You know how we all know that if we shouldn't eat chimney sweets. I know that. My weakness is Dr. Pepper. I'm very grateful that we do not have a Dr. Pepper machine in our house because I would probably be 300 pounds and need a lot of help because it's my weakness. I know I shouldn't have it, but it's sometimes so hard. It tastes so good and a lot better than the vegetables. Though I do like vegetables. In fact, I just finished eating a really good salad. But that's beside the point. If you look between a sweet and vegetables, sometimes you're just like, yeah, the donut looks better than the salad. Though this principle is true in food, it's also true in books. There are a lot of fun, sweet, light, fluffy books. And I'm not even talking about content-wise, them just being fluffy and hollow. There are some serious books that fall into this category, and I'll explain in just a second. And then there are books that are just deep, rich, meaty, vegetable-y type. These are harder to get through. See, these books over here that are sweet and fun, these don't impact us. These are fun to read. They're enjoyable, but they're not really beneficial. They don't build us up as Christians. They don't change us. They don't cause us to think. They just are. They're fun. And some of them even so much, I would say, are really, they're junk food. They're just little, they can even get to the kind of the even worse category. They could be bad for us. But I'm going to assume that everyone watching these are pretty much, if we're talking sweets, they're the junk food. They're not the poisonous stuff that can actually harm us if we don't eat too much, though. Because even though a little bit of sweets is no big deal, if you eat too many, it could be very detrimental to your health. Mental health in the case of books. So this is something that I have learned over the years. On this shelf, I have a wide array. I have everything from, I'm looking, most of my fluffy books are not on here. Actually, my fluffiest series is not on here. I'll have one. I have a series by Rachel McCullough. That's there's a series about a royal family. I'm going to go blank on the name. I think that series is so much fun. I even recommend it to people. It's one of the few love-inspired series that I've collected and recommend. But there's not a lot of depth spiritually to those. They pray, but they're mainly what you come away thinking about is this romance. It's so fun to see those characters get together after all the adversities they've been through, and it's just so fun. But that's what you think about. The great romance. The fun aspects of the plot. Unlike some books, Christie is like the opposite. If you read the book, now, before you judge this book by the movie, it's not the same. Though I do like the TV series they did. It missed some of the richness of the book. Christie is about a girl who's struggling with who she is and her goals. She's a strong person. She's not weak. And it's not like she's doesn't have courage to experience things, but it's a struggle. It's a coming of age story. And there's a lot of meat in that book. A lot. You can the scenes that still just stick out to me are the scenes where there's this great turmoil within. There is romance that's part of it, and there's a lot of fun scenes. I mean, I'm sorry, who can forget Creed Allen's antics, or just how sweet Rob Allen was, or just laughing at Ruby May's hilarity. There is just so much in those books. It's fun, but on a deep level, it gets you thinking, and it impacted me and changed me. Some of these other books, Sarah Sundin, her A Distant Melody and A Memory Between Us were deeply impactful. I was going through a really rough time. I read those books, and it really got me thinking about some things and God used it to help me deal with some stuff in my life. Tracy Higley, her books are always, or T.H. Higley, I believe and I may be mispronouncing the last name, forgive me, that I've showed you for myself. Her books are rich and deep in spiritual truths. Those our reading are on our vegetable plate or a meat plate. Maybe we should just think of it as meat, because then that sounds tastier than vegetables. Excuse me. We'll put the Rochelle McCullough series on the other side. Both are fun and both are okay to eat, but over here in moderation. What we choose to read with the majority of our time is important. And I think that for different people, that's going to look slightly different. I had a friend who chose not to read any romance because for her, it was anything with romance in it became junk food. Because that's all it was to her. I have some friends that never read nonfiction, but they see very deep truths within even some books that I go, I would never have thought that there was that kind of message in there. So sometimes it's easy to say, well, that person's reading junk food books, and that person's, they're so spiritual because they're always reading just nonfiction. And, well, you can do a little bit like that. If you're reading all love-inspired books, probably are eating just junk food. There's not a huge amount of depth there. Sorry to burst your bubble. Though there is some books. And if you are reading almost exclusively nonfiction, you're getting a lot of good things to think about. But there is a balance, and not necessarily can be seen on the surface. So, where is that for you? You don't need to comment and tell me that, but you should comment and tell me I would like to know, what's the fiction book that just most impacted you, that just changed you, and what series or what book did you just have the most fun reading? So I guess I better answer that first. So obviously, the fiction book I found the most impacting, I've mentioned it a few times, is Christie by Catherine Marshall. And let me think, the book I had the most fun reading, I'm actually going to have to pick a nonfiction that I had the most fun with. It's called Tales of the Heartily Homeschooled by Rachel Starr Thompson. It was hilarious about a whole family of a large family, and it just had me staying late and laughing so hard. I think that's the most fun I've had reading a book. If I had to pick a fiction book, I'd probably pick Stealing the Preacher by Karen Wittermeyer. That one was really funny, and I really liked some of the aspects of that book. So thank you for joining me again for Book Tips Tuesday. I hope to see you again here soon.